Hello, and welcome back to Season 7, Episode 1 of Sports Talk. I'm your host, Tyler Steinberg.
And I'm Mel Arcos, and I'm just excited to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here on the show as we have a special season premiere of Sports Talk coming right up.
That's right, Tyler. Some new segments, faces, and more. How could the show get any better?
Well, I'm glad you asked. This year, each episode will take a look at a different sport with elite, in-depth coverage, including stats, interviews, and some words from your very own Mepham athletes.
So what you're saying is this season is something you definitely can't miss?
That's right. So make sure to stay tuned into each episode because you truly don't know what to expect.
So, you might be wondering what sport this month's episode is dedicated to. Well, the answer to that is the world's most popular sport.
Are you going to tell them, or?
No, you do it.
Soccer. We're going to be discussing everything about Mepham Soccer, starting off with the girls. So we see here a 2-1-3 record to start the season out. 3 ties. That's not something you really see every day. How has the start of the season been for you guys?
I mean, I'm Mepham's goalie, and it's definitely been an interesting start to the year. It's a lot better than our season last year, but we have a lot of the same girls that are still on the team with our only one senior and the 8th grader that we did bring up from Grand. So it's definitely been an adjustment, but we still have the same chemistry that we had last year.
Yeah, and I like how you talked about the 8th grader that was pulled up. You guys have a very young team this year, right? Only one senior. How does that affect you guys overall as a team?
It definitely has a little bit loss of leadership because we don't have a lot of the older girls, but a lot of the juniors and a lot of the seniors our one senior are filling in to make those younger girls feel more comfortable in our shoes. So.
Yeah, and I like how you talked about the one senior. Ashley Felsberg has been a key first player on this team, right? Leads the team with 3 points, and her leadership role for this team is now amplified completely, right? This is a team full of juniors, sophomores, some freshmen, and even an 8th grader. That's not something you see every day. So making sure that she just kind of keeps this locker room contained, motivated, all that stuff. How has she done a job as a leader? How has she done that?
She has been such a good captain to us. She keeps everyone motivated on and off the field. She brings a smile to everyone's face, and she's such a key player on the field with her 3 points that you mentioned before.
And I have to ask, you said how there's only one senior. That means that a lot of you guys have been on the same team for a few years now. How does that affect your chemistry, right? Just being able to play with the same starters for multiple years now.
It's just getting better each year. Last year we did have a rough season, but that was just building the chemistry. This year we have improved, and it's been the same girls, and then next year it'll be even better.
Yeah, so I like how you said, again, you're having an amazing season as well, roughly 52 saves now on the season. How has it been just trying to make sure that you keep your team in every game?
You know, it's definitely a lot of pressure, but I love my team and I love my sport, and I know that every game we're going to pull through it and we're going to put as much as we can out there, every game without fail.
You know, all this talk about the girls' season makes me wonder what goes on at practice. If only there was a way to do that, huh?
Let's not act like you didn't know you mic'd us up this month.
I did?
Let's take a look at what went down in this month's episode of Mic'd Up.
Spread them out. Spread them out.
Actually, do it. I don't like this. What if I say?
Don't stroke it. You should make dog noises. Star Spangled Banner. I'm locked in. 1, 2, 3. I can't do this anymore. Oh, that just fell out. Oh, and Jacob just took a Snapchat of himself with a kissy face. We all saw that. Jacob! Oh, and again. Get the angles, Jacob. Look at this ghostly pale skin. Slay! Guys, sometimes...
Jacob!
Oh, I love Ritas!
Partner time, let's do it.
That'd be a great day at practice.
Let's cut this bread. Whoa.
Let's get this bread.
Yes!
I think we can all agree this team has some funny players, especially that goalie. She's got quite the personality.
Yeah, totally.
Glad we see it the same way.
Anyways, remember when you said something about new faces making their debut?
Of course. And let me guess, we're about to see one of those faces right now.
How'd you know?
Let's just say a lucky guess.
Yeah, I bet. Well, let's send it over to Ryan Marr, who had the chance to sit down with Peter Scotto, the captain of the boys soccer team.
Hello and welcome back to The View. I'm Ryan Marr, and we're starting a new season here. You know, Lily Yepes started this segment last year, and I'm filling her shoes, and let me tell you, it's some big shoes to fill. But moving on from that, I'm here today with Peter Scotto, the varsity Mepham High School captain here. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you for asking. Let's today just start off with a basic question. What were the expectations going into this season?
We've just been trying to play as well as we can. Even if we're not doing as well as we think we should have, we will play our best no matter what and just have a good rest of the season, have fun.
Yeah, man, no matter what, you exceed those expectations or not, Mepham's here, man. We've got your back. As always, Mepham is always together. Mepham strong, man. How has the success of this last year helped you guys grow and get ready for this year?
Last year we had a Cinderella run. We were 20 seed and then we made the Final Four, unfortunately losing 1-0 in the semifinal. But I feel like this really inspired a lot of us just to play our best because this is some of our last years and we just want to do our best and make it that far again, hopefully, and maybe even win the county.
Yeah, it was really impressive what you guys did last year. I know a lot of us here in Mepham were like, wow, this is actually going on and stuff like that. But on the other note, though, you guys had a strong senior class last year that helped you get to the point you guys were at. And they graduated last year. How have you, alongside this team, prepared for that loss coming into the season?
We've had a lot of people step up, like freshmen and sophomore, and a lot of people playing roles that they might not have been playing. Like last year I was playing defense, but now I move up into midfield. So yeah, we just have to have everybody fill in roles and do their best in those roles.
Early in the season, you were talking about filling into roles. You guys have dealt with a lot of injuries already coming into the season, not too far into the season, but just enough where injuries are starting to take place. How are you, alongside this team, dealing with the players missing in this lineup?
We really just, like I said before, relied on players to fill in roles that they haven't been playing or normally been playing. But yeah, just everybody play their best in those roles, even if they don't think that they should be there or don't want to be there. They just need to be their best no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, look, we spoke about it before the show started, but we were speaking about how a few JV members started in JV, but now they're being pulled up because of that. How are they filling in the spots? Are they doing a good job? Yeah,
very good. For the youngness of our squad, like the immaturity, I guess, if you want to say that, we've been doing very well. We've created many chances. Surprisingly, despite their immaturity, everybody's acting very grown-up-ish. But yeah, just doing their best at practice. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we also spoke about how your coach has to deal with this, has to change around formations and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about how that, as a captain, you deal with this, alongside the coach.
We've had a group chat between me and the two other captains and the coach to talk about what we can be doing better and how we can improve on the rest of our season. So yeah, all three of us have taken a large role in helping guide this team to where it should be.
You as a captain, you're a leader on that field. I mean, obviously it's well-deserved. Your talent has shown off over the past 3 years that you've been a Mepham athlete. But when you found out that you were a captain for this team, how did that affect you? How did you feel about that?
I was very proud of it and very happy as well. Everything I've been working for the 10-plus years that I've been playing soccer, has shown off in doing this, becoming a captain of this team.
Well, man, congratulations on being a captain. I mean, I know it's an honor. All Mepham sports, it's an honor. It's well deserved for you. On a side note, do you have any pregame rituals or songs that you listen to, or food or anything?
Yeah, every game for the last like 2 or 3 years, I've been eating a banana and having body armor with that. That really helps me feel my best.
And lastly, before we get you out of here, what do you guys feel you need to do moving forward in the season to make playoffs and hopefully get a deep run?
We should all just stay positive with each other, not get on each other if they make mistakes, and build each other up to play our best.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have anything to say to all the sports fans out here in the Mepham community?
Come show up to our game tomorrow versus Kennedy, at Kennedy, 5 p.m.
Sounds good. Thank you once again for joining us on the show. I'm Ryan Marr, and let's send it back to you guys, Tyler and Mel.
Thanks, Ryan. The boys have a lot of potential this year, and I can't wait to see where they go.
Couldn't agree with you more. Let's talk about the boys real quick. See, now, right now is the time that this is being recorded. They're 1-2-1. They would have had they would have played a game against Long Beach this past Saturday. So their season this year, it's been an interesting one for sure, right? Injuries have been a key part to this team. I had a chance to sit down actually with Coach Goss, and he talked about how this year he took a smaller team, roughly 17 to 18 players. That's what he had. He usually carries roughly 22, but that's been the weird thing about this year. So there's been so many injuries, so he's had to make a lot of call-ups from JV, and I'm sure you can attest to this as well, having such a young team in girls soccer. How does that affect a team, injuries and stuff like that?
It definitely helps build the chemistry, but it is harder on and off the field because you can have freshmen or sophomores who are maybe 13, 14 playing against so much older, who are just so much physically fit and stronger and just more technically advanced than they are.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And it's also such an interesting thing, right? Because it's very hard. Yes, of course, you worry about the whole team and if they're going to be able to just kind of keep play with everyone else with all these injuries. But it's also weird seeing how the freshman, the sophomore, sometimes, like you said, the 8th grader that gets pulled up. Would you say that it's very nerve-wracking for those players to have to step into those big roles?
Oh, definitely. And even when I got pulled up as a freshman, I know that first game when I stepped on that field, my heart was racing to no end. I was absolutely terrified. But the team atmosphere just makes it so much better. And I know the boys have to have such a similar chemistry to the girls. Everyone's just so welcoming. It's just such a great program, especially with the younger boys on the boys team. They lost a lot of their key players last year. A lot of their seniors left, and that's just taking a really big toll on our team with all the younger kids.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And there's many leaders on this team, right? You have Daniel Berry, one of the captains, Peter Scotto, Isaiah Contreras. There are a lot of key players on this team, seniors, that have to just make sure they do a good job, again, of keeping these boys motivated and trying to make sure that they stay on pace, because the start of the season hasn't been bad, but I'm sure they were wishing for a few more wins this season.
Definitely. I completely agree with you, Tyler. But, soccer is such an interesting sport when it comes to controversy.
What do you mean by that?
There's just so many things that could change when it comes to rules and ways to determine a winner.
I'm still confused as where you're going with this.
Well, and this next video is perfect for you.
I really thought I was going to save that one.
Well, maybe if you had any reaction time, you would have.
Whatever, because it's just that easy, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, is it not?
Before this gets ugly, I'm just going to take this one. The soccer shootout is a pretty simple idea. 5 alternating shots, one-on-one versus a goalie from 12 yards out, and whoever makes more out of the 2 teams wins. Seems pretty fair, right? Well, not on the goalie's part. Penalty shootouts are so hard for a goalie that if they just so happen to save just 1 out of the 5 shots, then that would technically be considered a good performance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. Sure, it's difficult, but would you rather just have them play on forever? I mean, 1 in every 4 games end regulation tied, so who says they won't just spend another 90 minutes out there? At least this way, there's always a winner.
Wait, stop. Yeah, someone wins, but even in the biggest game of all of soccer, is that really the best way to win? The World Cup finals, for example. Argentina against France. It came down to the shootout. Argentina made just 1 save, and that put all the pressure on France, and that 1 save ultimately decided the fate of the championship.
I'm done. Just like your idea for soccer overtime, this could go on forever.
Whatever, that wasn't called for. But in the grand scheme of things, I say it's best to stick to what's worked for over 50 years.
See, I think it's time for a change, but until then, I'm Matt Natof.
And I'm Jake Manno, reporting.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now.
Yep. The ideas of overtime shootouts is definitely something that brings both pros and cons to the game of soccer. But this possible rule change would for sure affect the outcome of many games if any change were to be made.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and only time will tell if any action is taken by leagues across the globe. But for now, we must enjoy and love the game as it is.
Now, let's move on to what might be my second favorite thing added to this show.
That's right. Wait, what's your favorite thing?
Shouldn't it be obvious?
Ah, yes. I don't even know why I asked, to be honest. Anyways, let's take a look at our first ever B&B Play of the Month, where we show you the best clip that our cameras were able to capture.
Manno serving number 17. Number 17 is Juliana Speranza. She's their outside hitter. She's had 25 kills, 2 blocks, 2 assists, 33 digs, and 3 aces. That's quite an achievement. Surprised the ace number isn't higher, and I'm sure the ace number will go way up after this thing. And there we go, Mepham's point.
That was a really
now,
great rally.
I'm not going to say anything.
That was, everyone worked together, everyone worked hard. They moved around, but they reset, they got back in their spots.
You can see right here on that replay, it really is just about team chemistry, the team moving together. There are 6 players on the court. And it
One of my favorite types of plays in sports is controlled chaos, between the teamwork displayed, the diving all over the place, and the fact that they were still able to get the point, just incredible.
You can really tell that none of that was planned, but it still ended up working out in the end.
An amazing first play, which now sets a high standard for the rest to come.
Well, that's all we have for you here at the B&B Studio. I've been Mel Arcos.
And I've been Todd Steinberg, and thank you all for tuning in to the season premiere of Sports Talk, and we'll see you all next month.